Hey guys, in this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips on how to make yourself happy in a relationship. Stay tuned. Okay, so tip number 1, guys, learn how to prioritize your needs versus your want. You've got to know what it is you want versus what it is you need. It's really crucial, guys. Now, why I tell you this, if you don't start from the place of loving yourself first and learning to prioritize your needs and your wants, you'll slowly find that you end up prioritizing everyone else's needs and wants. And after some time, that will start to take its toll on you. Because after a while, you'll start to feel like, actually, what about my needs? What about what I want? And you'll be looking to someone else to fulfill that for you. Now, this is why I say to you, the best way and the reason why I say prioritize your needs and wants yourself is because you never want to actually have your happiness dependent on anyone else. And most of the time, other partners, they don't want to be responsible for your happiness. So learn to prioritize your needs and your wants yourself. Because these are the things that often we don't identify. So we start to think to ourselves, okay, I think I want to start that YouTube channel. Let's take that for an example. But actually, the fact that you're not actually doing that thing that you really deep down want to do can actually leave you feeling very unfulfilled, very irritated, very unhappy, and actually just feeling like you're not really progressing, you're not really doing anything that you really have a burning desire to do, which leaves you feeling even more unhappy. So one of the key things that I want to suggest as a top tip is make sure you identify what are the things you want to do versus some of the things you need to do. Now, what's a need? A need would be something like you are in thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars in debt. This is something you probably know deep down you need to get sorted, but you've just not done it. Now, that's a need that is definitely going to affect your mood. It's going to affect how you feel about yourself. It's going to affect how happy or unhappy you are. So this is something that is a need versus maybe something like starting YouTube as a hobby that you might want to do. So the first thing that can really make you happy in a relationship is really being crystal clear with yourself about what's my wants versus what's my needs. Tip number 2, remember to do the things that made you happy before you were in that relationship. I can't stress it enough, guys. So many of us, we get into a relationship, we had interests, we had hobbies, we had friends. Lord, we have nothing now. So let me tell you, the trick to actually learning how to be happy in a relationship when you're in one is to remember to do the things you did before you were in that relationship. If you are someone who used to dance every weekend, okay, fine, you might not dance every weekend now that you're in a relationship, maybe you've got different responsibilities, but you loved dancing, or you loved art, or you loved socializing with a friend every now and again. Go back to doing some of those things. If you were someone who actually never ever had any interests, any hobbies, or friends, then this is the place to start. Actually identify what are some of those things that you are interested in and literally make a list, write it down, and start doing it. Tip number 3, set yourself some big goals. Now, you will break those big goals into small goals, and I'm going to show you how. Now, the first thing is that so many people forget that actually goal setting is how we start to feel like we've achieved things. So achievement is really key because the more you achieve, it builds your self-esteem, it builds your self-confidence, and it leaves you feeling much more happier. Now, guys, I cannot stress it enough. If you are somebody who sets goals but doesn't fulfill them, or sets a goal and procrastinates, you want to get into a process of setting a goal, fulfilling it, persevering with it, and staying committed to it. That is how you build your self-confidence, your happiness, and your self-esteem. So you set a goal, whether it is to run a half marathon, and then you break that goal down into smaller goals. So you say now, okay, I want to run that half marathon in 6 months' time. Great. Now break it into smaller goals. What do you need to do that you might need to do on a month-by-month basis as you work towards that big goal? Or what you could do on a weekly basis as you work towards that goal. Now, this could be you going for the first day to go and buy some running trainers or go and buy some gym wear. The next day could be to actually talk to your friend who's a runner and see if you can partner up with them and go on daily or weekly runs. You can literally set yourself a big goal and break it right the way down into a small goal. Now, why is achievement important? Because actually when we achieve things, we feel better about ourselves. We start to stand taller. We start to feel more proud. We start to be happier. And that is really important when in a relationship, because naturally you're gonna have some goals as a couple, I understand that, but you also wanna remember that having your own personal goals is just as important. There's things that your partner can support you with and just be your greatest fan and cheerleader. So if you are someone, for example, who said to yourself, you know what, I want to be in the next 5 years a influencer on YouTube because you have got a big interest and love for fashion. Now, if you set yourself that goal of starting that YouTube channel and actually seeing yourself post that first video, how good would you feel about the fact that you followed through with something that you have always said you wanted to do? So goal setting is really key, and I really want to emphasize, set a goal, break it down into smaller ones, and crush it. Achievement is everything. You'll feel better for it. Now, tip number 4 is one that I really, really love. This is all about authenticity. Be you. This is my one of my top tips, because if you don't stay being you, you end up being someone else. And that's when people start to feel like, I don't even know who I am anymore. And you hear people saying this all the time. I came into this relationship and I've changed. I'm now someone that I don't recognize. Yes, that's because you yourself don't feel authentic. You're not being true to who you are. You're not keeping to maybe the values that you came into that relationship with. Maybe you've not kept up some of the interests, the things that were really, really important to you. Suddenly they've gone to the wayside. Stay being you. You are enough. You need to just remind yourself that authentically being yourself is the key to success, but also to happiness. Because the more you can just show up as yourself, be in your true self, that is how most people start to feel like, you know what, I'm quite happy and satisfied in who I am. Why? Because they're showing up as themselves. Really key. Be you, boo-boo. This is so important, guys. Everybody else is taken. Be authentically you. You are enough. You are why he's chosen you or she's chosen you. So changing and becoming someone else that you are not is not necessary. Be you, boo. Guys, I've saved the best tip till last. Tip number 5, coming. This is a key one. Learn to say no. Guys, this is my top tip. You know why this connects to making yourself more happy in a relationship? Because we often keep saying yes to things we don't really want to do. And that is why so many people end up feeling frustrated, annoyed, irritated, and just feeling like, actually, I really don't want to do this, but I don't know how to say it. Guys, this ties in with boundaries. Sometimes the hardest thing is to say no, but it is so necessary to our own happiness. So it's my greatest and top tip. Learn to say no more often. And I'm not just saying say no because actually you just want to be annoying and say no to everything. I'm just generally saying if you are someone who tends to always say yes to everything, but deep down you really don't want to do everything that you've said yes to, start saying no more often. And don't give multiple explanations. Let no be your complete sentence. So someone says, hey, do you want to come out with me this weekend? And you really can't be bothered. Maybe you just want to have a chilled weekend without any movement. And I don't know if there's anyone who feels the same way, but if you do, make sure you click that like button because I'm with you on that. And if you are someone who does like to have those chilled weekends, drop a comment below this video and tell me what are some of the things you like to do on the weekend to just chill out. Now, if you are someone who struggles to say no and you actually want more tips, tools just like this on how to grow as an individual, both single or in a relationship, then you want to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you continue to get videos each and every time I upload. And of course, guys, smash the like button. If you actually have enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, remember to share it. So guys, those are my 5 top tips on how to make yourself happy while in a relationship. I hope those help. Take care, guys.